This is a video key for solving systems of equations using substitution. So we have a system 2x minus 4y equals 20 and 5x plus 6y equals 10. I'm going to show you two ways to solve this problem. The first way I'm going to show you how to solve this problem is utilizing the first equation. So when we look at these, we do want to look and see which one is easier for us to solve for a variable, so it's either x or y. So if we look at the first equation, the coefficient of x and the coefficient of y, neither of them are 1. So let's look at the second equation. Same thing, neither of them are 1. So neither of these are easy to solve for x or y. However, if we look more closely at the first one, we can see that it actually is easy to solve for x or y in the first one. So since the coefficient of x is 2 and the coefficient of y is -4, if we solve for y, we're going to end up dividing by that coefficient of -4. Well, 20 is divisible by -4. 2 is not, but think about it. 2 divided by a -4 is -1/2. That's not too bad of a fraction, so we could deal with it. Another thing we can do is if we look at solving for x. So if we solve for x, we'll have to divide by this 2. Well, -4 is divisible by 2, and so is 20. So that will give us all integers and no fractions. And if you're having trouble seeing that, one thing you can always look for in these equations to make it simpler is to look for a common factor that divides evenly into every single coefficient. So what number divides evenly into 2, -4, and 20? The answer is 2. So we can take that equation. So I'm going to take 2x minus 4y equals 20. And we're going to divide each side by 2. To divide the whole side by 2. So that means we're going to divide each of these terms by 2 and then divide 20 by 2. So 2x divided by 2 is just 1x. And then -4y divided by 2 is -2y. So minus 2y equals 20 divided by 2 is 10. So since I found that common factor, I reduced that equation. That's essentially what we did. Made it simpler. So now I'm left with an equation that you can see we can really easily get that x by itself. So you can either take this and just solve it for x, or you can reduce it first and then see that we can solve for x pretty easily. If we look in the second equation, that we couldn't have done that because there's no common factor between 5, 6, and 10 besides 1, so dividing by 1 would not get us anywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and take this first equation and solve it for x without dividing by 2 first, just to show you what that looks like. So if we take equation 1, if we're going to solve for x, 2x minus 4y equals 20. So if we're trying to solve for this x, we need to keep the x term where it is and get rid of that y term by adding 4y to both sides. So that zeroes out the -4y on the left side. And on the right side, we can't combine those terms because they're not like terms. So we just write them side by side. So it's just 4y plus 20. And on the left side, we are still left with the 2x. Now to get the 2x completely by itself, we need to divide by that coefficient of 2. So we're going to divide by 2 and divide the whole side by 2. So remember, both of these terms have to be divided by 2. So 2x divided by 2 gives us x. And then we have 4y divided by 2 gives us 2y. Plus 20 divided by 2 is 10. So there you go. That first equation is now solved for x. So x is equal to 2y plus 10. Now if we took it over here where we reduced it first, to solve for x now, we simply have to add 2y to both sides. And again, we can't combine those because they're not like terms, so we just write them side by side. 2y plus 10 equals, remember that zeroes out, and so x equals 2y plus 10. Looks awfully familiar because that's exactly what we got over here. So it doesn't matter which way you do it, but do analyze the two equations and see what will be easiest for you to do. Now in the second method, I will show you how to solve that first one for y and go from there. So if you would rather see that way, you can go to 951. All right, let's keep solving here. Now that we have one of the equations solved for one of the variables, now this is where the substitution comes in. So we're going to substitute this expression, 2y plus 10, in for x into the other equation, so equation number 2. Forgot to number them at the start. Okay, so now we're going to go equation number 2. And so it says 5, and then instead of x, we're going to write this expression because that's what x is equal to. So we're going to write 2y plus 10, end my parenthesis, and then finish the equation, plus 6y equals 10. Now we're going to use the distributive property since we have a factor, a number outside of those parentheses, so that operation's multiplication. So 5 times 2y is 10y, 5 times 10 is 50, and then we still have that 5y on the outside, and then equals 10. Now we need to combine like terms on the same side, so we have 3 terms on this side, 2 of them are like terms, 10y and 6y. So we're going to combine them. Since they're on the same side, we just combine them, so we're going to add them. They're both positive, so positive 10 and positive 6 together is 16. So that's 16y. We still have the plus 50 equals 10. Now this is a normal two-step equation, so we need to isolate the term with the variable. So we need to get rid of the positive 50 by subtracting 50 from both sides. So that zeroes out the 50 on the left side, leaving us with 16y equals, and then 10 minus 50 is negative 40. Remember, use a calculator if you can't do it in your head. And then our final step to get rid of that coefficient of 16 is to divide each side by 16 to undo that multiplication. And then you should be able to tell that this is not going to be a whole number, but that's okay. It's actually not too bad of a fraction, so it's negative 2.5 or negative 2.5. So now we have the variable y solved for, so now we have to go back and solve for x. So it doesn't matter which of the 2 original equations you use because you'll get the same answer for x. So I'm going to choose to plug it back into equation 1. Now technically we could use this or this, but to be safe, to make sure we made no errors here or here, let's always go back to one of the original equations. So we're going to solve for the second variable x. So I'm going to do equation number 1, and we're going to do 2x minus 4. Now instead of y, we're going to substitute what y is equal to, which is negative 2.5 equals 20, and then we're going to solve. So multiplication first here, the parentheses is multiplication. So treat this as a negative 4. So if you want to, just change that to add a negative 4. So this is going to be adding negative 4 times negative 2.5 is a positive 10. So that becomes 10, and so it's plus 10. So we get 2x plus 10 equals 20. Finish solving there, so we have to subtract the 10 from both sides to isolate the term with the variable, which is 2x. Zeroes out on that side, so we get 2x equals 20 minus 10 is 10. Divide each side by 2, and you get x is equal to 5. Okay, so we've solved for both the variables, and you know the last step is to check your answer. So we have to be careful here. Since I solved for the second variable x into equation number 1, I already know the pair 5, negative 2.5 works in this first equation. I have to make sure it works in the other equation, which is equation number 2. So you must check your answer in the other equation. So in equation number 2, we're going to check our answer. So it says 5, and then instead of x, we're going to write what x equals, which is 5. And then plus 6 times y. Instead of y, we substitute in that value, which is negative 2.5. And is that really equal to 10? So we get 5 times 5 is 25 plus, now we've got a positive times a negative, which will end up in a negative. And 6 times negative 2.5 is negative 15. And then we do 25 plus negative 15 is a positive 10. So we confirm that our answer is correct. So our final answer we have to write as a coordinate point. X comes first, so it's 5, negative 2.5. And then we can also put it in solution sets. So that is our final answer. And if you want, you can keep watching to see the other way to solve it. So this is the second way we can solve. I already talked about that first equation having a couple options for us. So we're going to go ahead and take that first equation and solve it for y, because it does give us a fraction, but it's not a very bad fraction. So in order to put this in slope-intercept form, which is to solve for y, we need to isolate the term with y. So that's negative 4y. So we need to get rid of this 2x. So we're going to do that by subtracting 2x from both sides. That zeroes it out on the left side, leaving us with a negative 4y, so don't miss that. That's one of the most common errors, so don't miss it. Pay attention to the signs. 20, we have to subtract 2x. They're not like terms, so you cannot combine them. So we just write them side by side. And I always like to write the x term first. You don't have to, but that's y equals mx plus b. The mx normally comes first. But it is not incorrect to write 20 minus 2x. That would not be incorrect. All right, and then our final step is to isolate y completely, so get rid of that coefficient. So we're going to divide each side by a negative 4. And so negative 4y divided by negative 4 gives us a y. And then we have to divide each of these terms by negative 4. So I'm going to go ahead and write this out. So it's going to be negative 2 over negative 4x, because that's the x term. So I'm just going to divide those coefficients, negative 2 divided by negative 4, plus 20 divided by negative 4. Now I can simplify these, and you need to. So these negatives are going to cancel out, because a negative divided by a negative is a positive, and then 2/4 reduces to 1/2. So y equals 1/2 x, and then 20 divided by negative 4 is negative 5. So you can either say plus a negative 5 or just minus 5. I'm just going to do minus 5. So that's equation number 1 solved for y. Now that we have one of the equations solved for one of the variables, we can go ahead with substitution. So we need to substitute it into the other equation. You don't want to substitute an equation into itself. So we're looking at equation number 2. So we have 5x plus 6. Now instead of y, we're going to substitute this expression in for y because it's equal to y. They're the same thing. So I'm going to write 1/2 x minus 5. And then equals 10. Now we can finish solving. First thing we need to do is use the distributive property to get rid of those parentheses. We got to multiply here. So 6 times 1/2, you should know, is 3. It's just half of 6. But it's 3x because that's the x term. And then 6 times a negative 5 is negative 30. So you can just write minus 30. And we still have that 5x out in front. And I put a plus sign here because the 3x is positive. And then that equals 10. We do have like terms on the left side, 5x and 3x. Since they're on the same side, we're just combining them. So a 5x and a 3x combined, they're both positive. So that becomes 8x minus 30 is equal to 10. Finish solving, we've got to get that term with the variable by itself. So we're going to add 30 to both sides. That zeroes it out on the left side, leaving us with just 8x equals 10 plus 30 is 40. Last step is to divide by 8. So we get x is equal to 5. Okay, we've solved for one of the variables. Now we need to plug back in to solve for the second variable. It doesn't matter which equation you use to solve for that second variable. So I'm going to go ahead and choose to use equation number 2 this time. So equation number 2, we're going to do 5, and then instead of x, we're going to substitute in what we found x to be, which is 5, plus 6y equals 10. All right, and then 5 times 5 is 25, plus 6y equals 10. And then we have to isolate that term with the variable, so we're going to subtract 25 from both sides, leaving us with 6y on that left side equals, and then 10 minus 25 is negative 15. Use a calculator if you're unsure. And then our final step is to divide by 6. So you can tell this doesn't divide evenly, but it's actually not bad. Negative 15 divided by 6 is negative 2.5. Remember, if it was a repeating decimal, you have to leave it written as a fraction. Otherwise, you will most likely mess up the check and it will only be about the same. So we always want to leave repeating decimals as fractions. Okay, so we have both of the variables solved for. So the next step is to check. So remember, we have to choose the correct equation to check. I already know that this xy pair, 5 and negative 2.5, works for equation 2 because that's the equation I use to solve for y. So 5, negative 2.5 works. So I need to make sure it works into the other equation. So I'm going to check it into equation number 1. So equation number 1 was 2x minus 4y equals 20. So we're going to write 2, and then instead of x, we're going to substitute 5. Minus 4, instead of y, we substitute negative 2.5. Equals 20. Is it really equal to 20? We're checking to make sure. Order of operations, we have multiplication here, so we can do these both at the same time, and then we'll subtract their results. So 5 times 2 is 10, minus, and then, we got to be careful here. We have a negative times a negative, so I know this is going to end up being adding a positive, so I'm just going to change that to plus. Those two will cancel each other out, and you can always do this. This is what I like to do, just plus plus. When they're right next to each other, and you're going to multiply. And 4 times 2.5 is 10. And then is 10 plus 10 20? It is. So we know our answer is correct. So final step is to write our final answer as a coordinate point. X comes first, so it's going to be 5 comma negative 2.5. You have to use parentheses to show it's a coordinate point. Otherwise it means something different. And then we can use fancy math notation, which means that we are using set builder notation. And that's our final answer. All right, thanks for watching.